they want to throw you to the wayside.
Yeah, I mean, it just once you get around someone, you be looking up to these people so bad, and like once you get around, they don't be who they say who they portray to be. You be like, damn.
That set you off that you was like, I gotta do that.
A lot of people don't know that what Floyd do. He said.
So you feel like it was a sub, like he was subbing you, like, oh, like
he was going at me.
In the least amount of fights, you know, I didn't have to have 70 fights, or 150 fights, 300 fights. Did I not beat the most world champions?
Yes, you did.
Okay.
Before Gervonta tension in Davis's bout with Lamont Roach increases as Floyd Mayweather enters Roach's camp. When his old instructor questioned Mayweather's devotion as the bout drew near, Davis felt deceived. The sudden action heightens the tension and feeds rumors about Mayweather's real motivations in the boxing community. Davis recently talked candidly about his relationship with Floyd Mayweather and how he gradually felt deceived. The presenter brought out during the conversation how individuals can give someone a chance, but usually for their personal gain. If that person is no longer useful, they are dumped. The host considered his own experiences and clarified that he wasn't blaming Mayweather specifically, but rather discussing how individuals behave in similar circumstances in general.
He came and got Tank, and it's like, yo, that's what we needed when they talking to Baltimore. And it's like, as time go on, again, I have no idea, you correct me at any time, but we see like just little back and forth between y'all two. And again, I have no idea, bro, so you can always stop me or correct me, we could, whatever. But I'm looking at like, it's crazy how people can put you in opportunities, right? But and I don't want to misspeak, but it just seems like, it's because I've experienced that people can, and maybe not for Floyd, so let me just preface that. It's like people can put you in opportunities because they can, but it's all to help them out. And then when you're not useful for them no more, they want to throw you to the wayside.
Yeah, I mean, it just...
When individuals become close to someone they formerly liked, they start to realize who they really are. The person they have in their mind doesn't always match reality, which can be a sad and disappointing experience, Tank said. He acknowledged that while this discovery was painful, it also encouraged him to take initiative and work on his own.
I mean, it just once you get around someone, you be looking up to these people so bad, and like once you get around, they don't be who they say they is or who they portray to be. You be like, damn, it's damn near like it's a letdown. So you be more so hurt off, you know. So it's like I just go my own way, like I do my own thing and things like that. So that's more so that's what it was, and that's cool. It's just like you just don't vibe with like what they on, and that's, you know. I mean, I've been in a situation where though, like, you know, I was in a lose-lose situation. Now, what came out still on top
with Floyd? We said, what was the lose-lose situation? What you mean?
Just a little situation that he put me in to, you know, make me.
Tank explained that his situation with Floyd was a lose-lose for him. He recalled a key moment in his career, his first world title fight at just 21 years old, with a record of 16-0. At the time, he hadn't fought in 7 to 8 months and was earning only around $10,000 per fight. This long period of inactivity put him at a disadvantage, making him vulnerable to losing. Tank implied that Floyd may have intentionally placed him in this difficult position, possibly expecting him to fail. However, despite the odds, he managed to come out on top. His words suggest he believes Floyd saw him more as a business asset than a true protege, setting him up with challenges that could have derailed his rise. This experience reinforced Tank's belief that he needed to take control of his own career rather than rely on others. Over time, he realized that true success required independence, pushing him to make decisions that would benefit his future on his own terms.
Came out still on top.
With Floyd? We said, what was the lose-lose situation? What you mean?
Just a little situation that he put me in to, you know, make me. make me lose. But he thought I was gonna lose. But
You talking about like a boxing match or?
yeah, boxing match.
Ooh, if you don't mind. If you don't want to, it's fine.
Pedraza. Joseph Pedraza, my first world title. I was 16-0. I was 16-0. 16-0. And I was 21 at the time. And I haven't fought in like 7 or 8 months. And around that time, I wasn't making that much money. I probably was making like $10,000 a fight. So 6 months is crazy to not fight, you know. So when they came back and it was like, all right, you gotta fight. He was like, you gotta fight this fighter, which is Joseph Pedraza. If you don't fight him, you're not fighting. You sitting on the shelf. So I had to fight him. In the midst of all that happened, I got evicted. I had to sell my jewelry. So now, and remind you, I'm letting them boxers that you talking about, I'm putting them on game.
Always valued Floyd Mayweather's advice, following his guidance without question. Their relationship was built on trust, with Floyd mentoring him throughout his career. However, over time, things changed. A falling out between them created a rift, and Tank no longer sought Floyd's counsel as he once did. Their strained relationship became even more apparent when Floyd was seen getting involved in Lamont Roach's training camp ahead of Tank's upcoming fight. Tank felt betrayed, questioning why his former mentor would align himself with an opponent he was about to face in the ring. This wasn't the first time he felt frustrated with Floyd's actions. He also took issue when Floyd offered advice to Frank Martin before their fight, making Tank feel as if his former mentor was no longer on his side. Instead of supporting him, it seemed Floyd was now backing fighters who were going up against him. With the fight against Roach approaching, Floyd's involvement adds another layer of drama. Fans are now speculating whether Floyd's move was intentional or if he simply no longer considers himself part of Tank's team. Either way, Tank has made it clear that he doesn't appreciate it. The once strong bond between them appears beyond repair. But rather than dwell on the past, Tank is focused on proving that he doesn't need Floyd in his corner to dominate the boxing world. Now standing on his own, he is determined to carve his own legacy without the shadow of his former mentor.
He just gave me good, great words. He was telling me just stay calm. I always like to listen to Floyd when it comes to big stages like this, because he's the only one that been in my shoes and been like in these type of fights, you know what I mean? So I always try to stay close to Floyd when stuff like this happens, you know what I mean? Just to keep me humble and, you know, like have me on the right track, you know what I mean? So I always appreciate Floyd for being in my corner, having my back, always, you know what I mean? So it's always a big love for Floyd Mayweather.
All right, as we get ready to let your...
Previously, when Tank was still being promoted by Floyd Mayweather, Floyd also coached Frank Martin, who would go on to fight Tank. Floyd was meant to be mentoring Tank's career, but he was also collaborating with a possible competitor, which created questions. Even yet, Tanky didn't question Floyd's activities, absolutely trusting his instructor. However, looking back, it now appears that Floyd could have been creating obstacles for Tankather rather than offering him full support.
He loves to embrace guys, so what was being around talking to Floyd? Like, what has Floyd taught you about fighting? And has it made you a better fighter? Because he could tell me all day to do that shit he does. I couldn't do it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, what does being around a guy like Floyd do for you?
He could tell you, go run at 2 in the morning. You know, go do it when, because 9 times out of 10, we know your opponent sleep at that time. So go run at 2 in the morning and go give yourself a mental edge, you know, like, cause you know you out there working every night at 2 in the morning running. That's a lot of the times your opponent sleep. You know, it could be little things that'll take you to the next level. You know, that Floyd, a person like Floyd, like if he tell you that, you gonna take a lot of heave to it, and it's gonna give you a different type of motivation when you doing it. He could show you something, you know, and it could be the same thing. You know, you might not be able to do it like him, but just it coming from him, it'll give you like a different type of like feel about yourself.
Frank Martin openly shared how Floyd Mayweather's advice motivated him ahead of his fight. Known for his strategic mindset, Floyd provided Martin with key insights that elevated his preparation and confidence. Martin valued the advice, seeing it as a game changer. However, Gervonta "Tank" Davis viewed it differently. Floyd wasn't just offering general guidance. He was sharing strategies that Tank himself had used in the ring. This raised suspicions that Floyd was intentionally preparing Martin to counter Tank's style. Once a fighter who fully trusted Floyd's mentorship, Tank began questioning his former mentor's true intentions. Their relationship had already soured over time, but this moment deepened the divide. To Tank, it wasn't just about Floyd mentoring another fighter. It felt personal. Seeing Floyd guide someone he could potentially face made him realize that loyalty in boxing is rare. Those who once stood beside him might not always want to see him win. Now, Tank is focused on proving himself without Floyd's guidance. He no longer sees Floyd as someone in his corner, but as a figure from his past. Determined to dominate on his own terms, Tank is embracing the challenge ahead, ready to show that he can succeed without the influence of his former mentor.
I'm from Baltimore. He's not from D.C. That's what I learned. I thought he was from D.C. too. D.C. my second home. I've been coming up here since I was 9 years old, even younger. So I'm not really trying to get in his personal business. Probably just showing him that, you know, I could do anything, especially in your backyard.
You gonna feel all this shit we gotta do? Look, hey Tank, we gonna go 35 for 12.
From the very beginning, Floyd Mayweather supported Gervonta "Tank" Davis. He brought him into his team, guided him, and helped shape him into the champion he is today. Floyd gave Tank opportunities, advice, and exposure that most fighters could only dream of. In return, Tank was loyal, always listening, following Floyd's advice, and trusting that his mentor had his best interests at heart. Their relationship wasn't just about boxing. It was built on mentorship, respect, and what seemed like unbreakable trust. But over time, things changed. The bond they once shared began to fade. The issue wasn't just that Floyd started working with other fighters. It was that he seemed to position himself against Tank. Supporting Frank Martin was one thing, but actively giving him strategic advice, knowing he could one day fight Tank, made Tank question Floyd's true intentions. It no longer felt like mentorship, it felt like betrayal. Then, Floyd got involved in Lamont Roach's camp ahead of Tank's upcoming fight. That was the breaking point. It wasn't just about helping young fighters. It was about actively working against someone he once called his own. That's what hurts Tank the most. Not just that Floyd is training others, but that he's giving opponents the tools to beat him. Tank once saw Floyd as a mentor, someone who had his back no matter what. Now he realizes he has to stand alone. He's no longer seeking Floyd's guidance, nor is he expecting loyalty from him anymore. The real pain isn't just losing a mentor, it's realizing that the man who once supported him is now on the other side. That betrayal cuts deeper than any loss in the ring.
You're backed by arguably one of the greatest of all time, right?
What are we rating ourselves on? What are we rating on?
Okay.
Well, we're gonna know. In the least amount of fights, you know, I didn't have to have 70 fights, or 150 fights, 300 fights. Did I not beat the most world champions?
Yes, you did.
Okay. And in the least amount of fights?
Yes, you did.
Who got the highest gate?
Floyd Mayweather.
Who made the most money?
You did.
Who was the most accurate fighter of all time?